Figueroa.com.
This is your 420 Radio News for Tuesday, July 9th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. Denver considering 5% tax on pot sales comparable to cigarette tax, from the Denver Post. Denver Mayor Michael Hancock wants to impose a tax on recreational marijuana to cover the costs of the coming industry that would be roughly akin to the tax burden on a pack of tobacco cigarettes. Hancock is recommending a 5% tax in the first year, but said the city should have the flexibility to increase the tax to up to 10%. The city expects it will have to spend about $9.4 million on regulation, enforcement, health, and education, including adding 26 police officers, buying a so-called Denver Cares van to transport high people to a detox facility, and paying for an advertisement campaign to encourage young people to stay away from pot. Councilwoman Jeannie Fotz, however, is calling for a 15% tax, saying the tax should cover more than just the costs of the impact from the marijuana business. Quote, "They said legalize it but tax the hell out of it," she said. "Why limit it to just 10%? Why is it not okay to have money left over to cover other services?" End quote. The Marijuana Industry Group says the industry is already unfairly burdened because businesses that sell pot legally under state law cannot deduct or use any tax credit on their federal taxes. The group is supporting the statewide vote on taxes and will campaign for its passage, but he doesn't want to see local governments piling on. They say, quote, "The higher the legal marijuana costs, the more people are going to stick with the black market," end quote. Ohio Police Department is using fake drug checkpoints, from ABC News. Police in the Cleveland suburb of Mayfield Heights know they are not allowed to use checkpoints to search drivers and their cars for drugs, so they are trying the next best thing, fake drug checkpoints. Police in the city of 19,000 recently posted large yellow signs along Interstate 271 that warned drivers that there was a drug checkpoint ahead and to be prepared to stop, and that there was a drug-sniffing police dog in use. There was no such checkpoint, just police officers waiting to see if any drivers would react suspiciously after seeing the signs. A 2000 U.S. Supreme Court ruling said actual drug checkpoints are not legal, and that police cannot randomly stop cars for police can randomly stop cars for only two reasons: to prevent immigrants without legal permission to be in the U.S., and contraband from entering the country, and to get drunk drivers off the road. Former Mexican President Fox urges marijuana legalization, from Yahoo News. Former Mexican President Vicente Fox took his crusade to legalize marijuana to San Francisco on Monday, joining pot advocates to urge the United States and his own country to decriminalize the sale and recreational use of cannabis. Fox met for 3 hours with the advocates, including Stephen D'Angelo, the Oakland-based executive director of California's largest medical marijuana dispensary, and former Microsoft executive Jamin Shively, who hopes to create a Seattle-based pot brand now that Washington state has legalized recreational use. Legalization, Fox told reporters after the meeting, is the only way to end the violence of Mexican drug cartels, which he blamed on America's war on drugs. Quote, "The cost of the war is becoming unbearable, too high for Mexico, for Latin America, and for the rest of the world," end quote, Fox said. Every day, he said, 40 young people are killed in drug-related violence. There are plans to introduce a bill to legalize marijuana in Mexico this summer, Fox said. The bill, which he expects to be introduced by Mexican lawmaker Fernando Belanzaran, would legalize adult recreational use of marijuana, Fox said. The lawyer for Charleston man denies connection to DEA Bitcoin seizure and illegal Silk Road drug marketplace, from the Post and Courier.com. A Charleston man tied to the first ever law enforcement seizure of digital bitcoins insists he had nothing to do with the virtual currency and is a victim of mistaken identity, according to his lawyer. The U.S. DEA recently attracted a bevy of online attention when it posted a forfeiture notice indicating that agents had seized 11.02 bitcoins worth $814 from a 31-year-old Eric Daniel Hughes for allegedly violating the Federal Controlled Substances Act. This notice prompted a flurry of speculation that the DEA had infiltrated the infamous Silk Road website, an off-the-grid marketplace where drugs are traded and bitcoins are the only accepted currency. Arizona ruling on return of seized marijuana stands, from Tampa Bay Online. The Arizona Supreme Court is letting stand a lower court's ruling that the Yuma County Sheriff must return to marijuana seized from a woman with a California medical marijuana authorization honored by Arizona. The justices, without comment on Monday, declined to review a January ruling by the Court of Appeals. The January ruling said the medical marijuana seized from Valerie Okun must be returned to her. This has been your 420 Radio News for Tuesday, July 9th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. When we come back, we go behind the headlines on the George Zimmerman trial and the recent admission of Trayvon Martin's marijuana use into evidence.